So I thought I'd do a video just to update on the resort and sort of advise on a few bits and pieces. I think we're fairly fair with our reviews and with what we say. We're reasonably well travelled, so I've been to lots of different places. This is a really nice hotel. It's impressive, the building. It is kept clean, apart from the usual public toilet issues you get where you go in and people have been disgusting, but that's not the hotel's fault. They do keep things as clean as they can. Our room is right out the back of the hotel, so I think with this resort it's so big that it's not going to please everybody, and there'll be things that some people like and other people don't, and vice versa. So for us, the room out the back is great because it's quiet, and we are quiet holiday people. We sadly go to bed early and get up early, so it suits us to be out the way. But because it's such a huge resort, that is a bit of a problem in the daytime. I think we're in what would have been classed as a privilege section, but we're not upgraded to privilege. We're just in a normal standard room. But as you can see behind me, we have got a sea view, which we didn't ask for or pay for, so that's great as well. But yeah, so the room's beautiful, but in the day it's very difficult with the kids because it's a long walk to everything. So to get a drink at any of the bars, to get food, to go to the pools, back and forth, it's a bit of a pain in the neck, to be honest, especially with Peter. He's only 4 and it's hot, and trying to get him back and forth all the time is difficult. And you know, it's an odd all-inclusive resort because not everything's included if you're all-inclusive, which is unusual. So you have to pay a deposit for your pool towels, which you get back at the end if you hand your towels back. That's €10 per towel. If you don't hand them in, you don't get your money back. And if you want to change your towels for fresh towels, you get charged 50 cents per towel, which apparently it's an environmental charge. Maybe it's a new thing, but I have never ever seen that anywhere I've stayed before. Maybe it's like I say, maybe it's a new thing, maybe that's coming in everywhere, but I find that difficult because you pay so much to come here. I expect to have clean towels every day, and I'm not paying 50 cents when there's 4 of us. That's, you know, €2 a day, and we're staying for 2 weeks. You don't expect to factor that into your costs for a holiday, so that's a bit of an annoyance. Not all the food in the places is free for all-inclusive. Some things you still have to pay for, so you have to just be a little bit careful with what you're doing and with what you're asking for. Yeah, one comment I'd have, we've been here 2 days now, and looking at the pools, the 2 big pools look beautiful, and they're really, really nicely done, but they are so cold. I think there's a board that goes up every day saying the temperature of the pools. On the one day, it was 21 degrees in the pool. I mean, that's just, you can't go in that. That's just so cold. And those are the 2 big pools. So all the sunbeds are around those and no one can use the pools. Everyone crams into the one small tiny heated pool that's at the top, which is completely overfilled with people all day, so that's a bit of pain. And then you've got the kids pool area. You'll see now this going past, this is another annoyance, these golf carts. So those paths that they drive on are not roads, those are paths that you walk on. So everywhere we're walking, we're having to keep our wits about us because these golf carts come zooming up behind you, and I have to grab the kids out the way so they don't get run over. It's a bit of a pain. But anyway, back to the pools. So the kids pool is really nice. It's a little like splash pool and a slide and things, but it's just not big enough for. It's a family resort, and the number of people down there today, it was ridiculous. Sunbeds are definitely an issue. You could get sunbeds around certain areas of the main pool, but you need shade, and you're not going to get the shade. And they say they take the towels off the beds. They're not. People go out early, put their towels on the beds like everywhere. And the thing is, I'm reluctant to leave our towels on the sunbeds, because you've got this €10 charge per towel. So when I said about the €10, they don't actually take the money off you. They charge it to your room number. So when you check out, if you don't have the towel, you pay then. So you don't physically hand money over. But it's difficult. And I'd say there's not enough bars and not enough restaurants and things covering it's such a big resort. We've got a long walk to get to anything where there's drinks. And even though we're all inclusive, there's nothing in our mini bar. You have to upgrade to the privilege thing to have anything added to your mini bar, and I think then it's only every 2 days. So we generally have to drink while we're out, and then once we're back in the room, it's just the water bottles that we fill up, and that's that. We haven't eaten in any of the a la carte restaurants yet, because we haven't managed to book any. And I was savvy with that as well. We'd already downloaded the app as soon as we had the room number when we got here. I went on there and tried to book, and you couldn't. We arrived Thursday. It's Saturday today. I think our first a la carte is tomorrow in the Italian. So make sure you book straight away or you won't get in. But I think part of that problem is we're a party of 6. If you were just 2 of you, you probably would get in fine. But hopefully that'll be nice tomorrow. The buffet is okay. I've had better, I've had worse. So the selection is reasonable. But a place we went last year had much better selection. It's not replaced particularly well. A lot of the stuff runs out and people are queuing. Massive queues. When it first opens, it's a bit like feeding time at the zoo. Everyone descends in and pile on the stuff and empty it all, and then you're waiting. But it's so difficult because there's 6 of us. There are only 2-3 tables for 6 people, and it's a funny resort. It's the only place I've been where you go to the buffet and you seat yourself. Every single other place I've been, 5-star all-inclusive resorts, you go to the buffet, you say your room number, and they will take you to a table and show you where you're sitting. They don't do that here. It's a free-for-all. You go in and you choose wherever you like to sit. So it could be only 2 people on a table for 4 or 4 people on a table for 6. The problem then is people who have the larger parties can't sit anywhere. We ended up, the first day when we arrived, lunchtime, my parents were sat on a different table to us up the way. I mean, that's not really acceptable. And we mentioned it to the staff at the time, and they just went, pfft, and weren't bothered and didn't do anything. I just said, just find tables. So we found them fairly unhelpful. Another day, though, when we said the same thing, people did help. So I think staff are a bit dependent on who's on and what mood they're in. A lot of the staff we've found are really, really helpful. Definitely not as friendly as other resorts we've been to. But they are generally helpful and kind. It's just the odd one is a little bit off. So that's unusual. And I think the other day we ate at the pool bar at lunchtime, and my dad's gluten-free, he's celiac, so he couldn't eat down there. There was nothing available. So he came up to the buffet, and they didn't have any drinks. No one served them, and they passed their table several times and even looked at them, and my dad got really cross and went and complained, and then they got some drinks. So I think it's a bit hit and miss with the service. With regards to gluten-free, the food labelling is appalling. If you've got food allergies, I'd be really careful, and I'd probably go and ask somebody. But some of the waiting staff don't speak English very well. I couldn't get a drinks order with someone the other day, even though I was asking them in Spanish. And my Spanish isn't that bad. So it's a bit difficult. You've got to be quite careful. And the labels, half the food doesn't have a label, so you don't know what it is, and you're guessing. And the other half, they could be wrong. So, for example, last night there was ravioli, and it said meat ravioli. So I thought, okay, I'll have some. Put it on my plate, started eating it, and it was cheese ravioli, which is fine because I like cheese. But obviously, from an allergy perspective, that could be quite difficult for people. But the food is generally good. What I've eaten has been nice. What I'd expect from buffet. Hopefully we'll have a nice experience in the a la cartes. The cocktails are good. I've heard complaints about those, but I found them good. I don't know what else I could say. I guess the food at the pool bar was all right. The selection's a bit limited there, but it's because it's the pool bar, but the pizzas are really nice there. So if you like pizza, that's the place to go. I'll update in a couple of days, and just to see if there are any changes, and to say how our a la carte dining's gone as well, because we've got tomorrow night, and I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday we're going to them as well, or Monday, Tuesday. So we'll decide then which ones we want to use the rest of our sort of tokens for, because we get 5 visits. We're here for 2 weeks, and we've got 5 a la carte visits in that time. But hopefully they'll be nice, but I'll let you all know soon. So these are the free water bottles? No, you have to pay for them, but we fill up for free because we're all inclusive. To help the environment, you've got these plastic bottles that you refill at all the bars for you. What we've done, because there's 4 of us, we've written our names on the tag to make it easier to remember who's at who. We have found that some of the places you refill, the water tastes really weird and metallic, but the best place is at the main wine reception, and it tastes fine there, so that's where we tend to go now to refill.